house, not here. It's too hard for me in traffic to get here on time because they only work till 4:30. So that's why I'm getting confused. You know,
the only example I can think of, it may not be the case, but I know a parent in Chino, and they went to, I think it was some sort of a serious behavioral kind of an issue, and they, I believe, ended up going to a very specific program in Loma Linda. And you know, very, very successful, but I'm assuming it's some sort of classes like that would be because that was a collection of people from different places. Parent interaction and support was absolutely mandatory in this program. It was very helpful, I know, for this child. So I'm assuming it's something like that. What you're saying is the evening things that would not be able to provide the services on campus. So a variety of classes like that. I think what I've seen of them has been very, very successful, and people have to go all over the place to go to it. So.
And we'd have to, you know, I mean, some of this is still to be worked out. We're going to have to look at, and some of this will grow slowly. I mean, you know, but you know, we want to be able to have those facilities. We do recognize that for many parents, the school limits their participation, and so, you know, having clinic helps address that.
To me, it seems like the self is being very proactive in
That is
a
what
positive
sounds
way,
really,
and the
really,
details
it sounds very
have to obviously be worked out.
Yeah.
Well, and that also reminds me of like some of the services regional center has given to families, such as when it comes to the counseling or the clinical favor, we have had to go to a certain series also of educational for the parent along with the child. I know, I have done that. And regional center is one who was providing something like that at a certain location.
Did you have another question?
Well, it was just that.
Want to move on?
The point, I guess, is my assumption. I've been meeting with my director at one of the school districts, and based on my conversations with her, it is my assumption that there's very close communication between this group, you, John, and the director. So I'm not going to second guess whether or not the information you present to us is credible and reliable. And it concerns me that the tone often is one of suspicion and acrimony. And it gets us into a lot of issues that, frankly, I don't have the time. I'm more interested in substantive issues of my policy and advisory to WESELPA rather than the individual district by district issues that might be important for districts, but not necessarily relevant for the school.
And I think that's probably the real mandate here for this group is to, you know, look at those bigger issues, and if we have individual district issues to handle them in the district and with the parents.
I have a question about the leasing of the facility. You lease the facility because you have time credentials here. I mean, you can only be open until I think it's 8 or 9 o'clock. Does that mean that some of the SELPA employees now will work past 4:30? Is that one of the goals
That is something we talked about. I mean,
I have another question. On the administrator, psychologist, SELPA specialist, when you say WSMA means the percentage of time they'll be in mental health?
right. That's just the finance code for that mental health pot of money.
That doesn't mean any
I don't know what the
increase of salary?
WH means.
It doesn't mean an increase of salary?
No, that's a portion of their time. So, yeah, we have one full-time equivalent, and then you divide it out across whatever budgets are related to that person's work.
So long as they're getting more days added to their work schedule.
There is one person where we just increased, asked for an increase in days, I guess. This is one,
And they don't,
85.
right, and nobody's getting an increase of salary?
The salary, all our salaries are set by the county office because they are our AU, so we can't give ourselves any raises.
and more, since I heard more being said. It's been a remarkable thing. I walk in here and I hear this conversation going on between Mo and Kumkum, and Mo's saying, we want the compliance complaint with the name of the kid crossed out. And Kumkum says, I don't want to see the names of the kids. So when I hear this, I see a lot of common ground here, right? If the compliance complaint comes without the name of the kid on it, then Kumkum doesn't get to see the name of the kid, which is a good thing because it's unlawful. You're not allowed to see the name of the kid. But as Joan said, they are public records, and so they ought to be made available. Now, it's true that doesn't mean we want to spend a lot of time talking about it necessarily. But, for example, at Chino, the board has an agenda of like 150 pages, which not everybody has to look at. But the thing is, anybody can look at it that's interested. And so, I don't see anything wrong with crossing out the name of the kid and emailing the packet to everybody here, and they can look at it. And some of them will hit the delete key in a hurry because you don't want to know. But those that want to know will get to see it. And the thing is, the details in these compliance complaints are in fact important. You don't just want to trust a two-line summary about what went down. The details are very important, and among districts it's very important if you're going to get the picture of the kinds of things, specific things, that cause trip-ups and things that need to be looked at. You will get that from the details, and it's worth having that available so that those who are interested can look at it, and not everybody will be. That's how come it is you got a whole bunch of people working on it, because not everybody can be interested in everything, but everybody can be interested in something. So that's why I think that it makes a lot of sense for the redacted things to simply be emailed, scanned an email, and that ought to work just fine. And then nobody ought to have any problems with that. The other thing I wanted to address, you brought up the question of how I don't want to be I don't want to second guess things and everything, but it's your job to second guess things. You're absolutely right about the tone of acrimony and all of that. Acrimony is useless, but suspicion is good. Suspicion means you look into things and you in fact do investigate things and see what's there, and you remove the temptation to cut corners because you know somebody's going to look at you. It's the same reason that I notice the carpet gets cleaned better if I'm standing there watching a guy doing it. And it's not mean, it's just human nature that the job gets done better if somebody's watching you do the job. So, therefore, it's like the proverb says, the proverb of Solomon says, if the king sitting on his throne scatters all evil at his eyes, just looking at things makes things better if somebody's looking at stuff. So you don't want to discourage the opportunity to have things looked at. And therefore, it's reasonable to ask questions and to demand answers and to expect them. Simply as I was saying yesterday morning, the SELPA institutionally wants to look good. All institutions want to look good. You go to the board meeting and everybody's talking about what everybody's doing a great job. You know, any board meeting you go to, you know that this is the very best school district in the whole country, anywhere you go. And everybody wants to look good. The thing is, though, if you're going to do a good job, it's only by finding the things in which you don't look good. And that's how come the quest to look good and the quest to do a good job are mutually exclusive. You've got to pick which one of those is important. Now, if you care what happens to the kids, that means you want to pursue doing a good job, and that means that you have to frustrate people's quest to look good. There's nothing mean about that, it's just what you have to do. So, I'd like to see an orientation of, I want to know, not I want to be nice and I want to be friendly. Now, when you want to know, of course people are going to be uptight. So, you want to be as nice about it as possible. Be nice, but be demanding.
Yes. Just to very briefly hit on what Peter kind of went over. I didn't plan to, but I will, since it was brought up. That's why this videotape is here. It's a means to promote transparency. And I've been doing it since the annual budget of last year. And I think it's great. And I hope you guys take advantage of watching the video, because it's, you know, all these meetings are video recorded, from Superintendent's Council, the PAC meetings to FAC meetings, and all the information is there. And for instance, on this issue of the mental health allocation funding, which I was just going to briefly go over, the superintendents have kind of wavered back and forth, and you, if you're interested, can go and watch it for yourself, and listen to the public comment that have come forward at these meetings, at the PAC meetings too. So the other issue that I wanted to bring up is yesterday the superintendents had they went over the CAC compliance complaint. They had a meeting on a Monday, which is unusual because usually they're Fridays at 9:30. It was 8 a.m. yesterday. And video recorded that too, so if you're interested in watching, you can see it. Very short meeting. And one of the issues that was on there was a letter that was from a law firm, and it's on the agenda for the superintendents, which is on the website educateadvocateca.com if you're interested in looking at it for yourself. I brought it to make copies, but they said they wouldn't do that. And so is our response, Educate Advocate's response to the legal opinion concerning the CAC. So since it, concerns all of you here being on the CAC, you might have some interest in reading up on what they had to say and what we had to say. So again, educateadvocateca.com is the website. I think that's all I want to say about that right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, sorry, it was on this side.
Okay, go ahead.
Again, I'm a mother of 4 children, 3 who are under an IEP, from high school, middle school, and elementary. We hate to sound like a broken record, but we do. I want to work with all of you, to try to make a better districts for our children. That being said, it's not us against you. It's just what I tell my children. It's constructive criticism. Our parents, constantly the ones we help, are being consistently, ridiculed, and we're just saying, let's just take this constructively and see how we can better it instead for, so this won't happen again. So I just really encourage you to be open-minded about it. Do ask questions, because we are all learning, and we all want to understand how to better help one another. That's it.
Action items. Number 1 is chairperson and direct appointment. And is anybody interested in some of those, chair-elect?
Anybody?
Seems like an easy office to win.
I can't take one of these positions, but you guys are all here for a purpose, and, somebody needs to step up so we can hold some of these committees that we need to hold.
Personally, can I say something? I think many of us have already been in CAC, and some of us have been chair-elect. From my personal experience, I want to say that I just sometimes feel that if we take a position and we don't do it the way certain people want it, we are criticized. I feel in a way sometimes, it's very uncomfortable, and that just gives a way that takes away the motivation of doing it. We all ask questions. We might not be here in public, but we do all love to help our children. That's why we're here. But personally, because I have had a position before, as you both know, and most of you don't, I feel like the motivation is taken away because I feel like we will be judged. We would be, so I just wanted to give from my past experience. If you don't see a lot of motivation happening, from my experiences, because it feels like